So, second tutorial, second part of amazing bench. And here, in this one, we're gonna make a UV for it. Um, I'm just gonna comment on it again. Um, this is what we've done in the previous one. If you didn't look at the previous tutorial, you should check it out. Also, don't forget to comment and subscribe. So now I'm pressing on UV when unwrapping, just double checking all the tools. I didn't use this program for a while, so I'm gonna be wandering around a bit when I was doing the recording, but it's not a problem. It's good to know how to find out and how to find things. You can see I'm just double checking every button where it is, testing them out, clicking on them and seeing what it does. Fast way to undo it is Ctrl Z. If you don't know, it's quite useful to know. You can use it for a lot of programs like Photoshop and Office. So in here I'm just used like flattering thing. I just flattened out all the faces, made it white so I can see the lines, edges, which are already connected. I like to see what's happening and what's going on in the middle and things like that. Just selecting the top part right now. Using Control B to break. There is a button here as well to break it down, but I was searching for it as well. So just Control B, or just go to Tools and use the break. Just double checking which one is which. Using the edge tool, stitching them together like edges. You can find the stitch, I think it was in tools, not quite sure, like stitch selected. Yeah, there is a way. I'm using Ctrl S by the way, but if you didn't preset it, it's gonna be just saving your max file. So I'm just gonna show you a quick one. This is not that one. It's customize user interface. Just go to UV unwrapping UVs and find the stitch. There's two stitch options. You can stitch it without options, like they give you add-ons so you can like navigate them around and play around how it's stitched. So for a simple one, I'm just using Ctrl S. If you select one of the tools you want to do, just select it, and you can like preset it on the hotkey, like tap in Ctrl S and then save it and stuff like that. Don't forget about this button. It's quite useful to know, because if you have it unselected, it's not gonna stitch, it's just gonna save it like normal way. I had some troubles with that before, and I had quite hard time searching for the answers in the forums and stuff like that. So again, I'm just selecting, moving it around, detaching it, like breaking them apart and stitching them on the edges. As well, it's quite good to have checkers, checker box as your default material, and you can see how texture is gonna pretty much look on the model. If the squares are like stretched out like now, you'll have some trouble with texture because it's gonna be broken, it's gonna be stretched, and it will look terrible. but you can adjust it later on. First we're gonna do the stitching, make sure it's all nice and cozy. Isolating tool is quite useful if you want to see only one of the parts of the mole. I have some friends writing on Skype, they're annoying as hell. Talking about the heroes. Good game, not too bad. I'm actually recording this second time now because first time my microphone was on mute. I should probably double check it again. Yeah, I had some. I done a whole recording like 15 minutes, and later on was like, oh, I should check it out. How is it? And just like silence. Oh, it was so annoying. All good now. So again, flattening it out, so I can just lay it from here, move it around. Searching for some buttons. Max 12 has new images for it, and just a bit hard to find something right now. Still learning it, I would say. But it's all good. In a time, it just comes back. Sometimes I forget about them. I like this button straight, which just traces them all out. It's so much useful. Oh my god, it saves so much time. You don't imagine how much time it saves if you are new to Max. So yeah, you can see the squares are not quite squarish. So I'm just gonna move it around a bit, see how it looks. Make sure it's pretty much squarish. Dragging them a bit. Looks a bit better. Sometimes it's good to use the relaxing tool. It makes it a bit more squarish, like a bit better, but sometimes it just breaks it apart. You can try playing with options, but in my case it didn't help. Just breaks it apart. So just decided to use my eyes and hands. There's probably a better way to do it, but I couldn't be bothered to search for it. Maybe next time, in next tutorials. By the way, we're gonna do quite a lot of them because we have quite a lot of models to do for our little game. So have a look out for them. Just testing out some of the buttons, some of the presets. Looking for the best one I can find, which saves me time and stuff like that. Just moving it around, looking how it looks, how it's attached. Again, using the same old stitching. Just stitching more. There are some bits, you can see green bits on the main area. So just double checking which ones are there, how it looks, how is it done all. Using a relax tool now, that's a good idea. It smooths it out a bit. You can see the the vertices are not connected, so I'm just gonna attach them. There's a button like called target welding. Quite useful. You just click, hold, and drag on the second part of the second vertex, but it takes a lot of time. It just doesn't work. Also, it's for more precise work. You can move it around if you want, or you can just select two of them and Control W, just welds them together in the middle point. Sometimes it just moves it around like from the exact where you want it, so you have to move it back. It's faster, but it's well less accurate, I would say. Again, trying to use some relaxing, but in this case it doesn't help too much. Thinking of maybe cheating a bit. Nope. Just gonna do it the old-fashioned way. Move with my mouse. There's a bit in here I missed. No problem. Just select it all and Control W. Yeah, you can see here there is like little squares. That's a bad sign. It just basically means that the sides are much bigger and the textures are gonna be smaller in here. So your best choice is to match them all together so they look at all the same size. Again, searching for some tools, but trying to find a better way to do it, but nothing helps too much. At this point I forgot that I'm gonna have some more objects which are gonna be used for UV, because I'm gonna make it an all on one texture map. So just basically just playing around with in here for no reason. Well, all mistakes. You can see mistakes we're doing. You can see how we fix them, making sure it all looks nice, not too much broken. If you use Control and drag from one of the sides, you can scale them all in same like all together, so it doesn't like stretch out or whatever. It's quite useful to know. You can use it as well for Photoshop and some different programs. I don't remember all of them right now. Maybe Illustrator. Yeah, I think you can use it in Illustrator as well. Maybe Fireworks. Don't forget, it's always a good idea to use as much space as possible. You can as well make it this way if you stretch it out, but don't forget to stretch out your texture as well, because if you're not gonna do that, you're just gonna like squash it all, and it's gonna look bad as well. Using collapse, selecting a different part, and now for this part, for the legs part, you can see I have two objects but are identical, so I'm just gonna delete one of them, do a UV same way basically, and make a symmetry of it, like a copy, a second copy. So in the end I'm gonna save time by not doing the same leg, the same object twice. Just gonna move out. You'll see what I'm talking about when I'm gonna do. Again, there is a big mess in here. Using one of the available tools. But this one I like it a lot. It just almost was hitting the spot. I had to figure out which part is which, but if you select them all, like one of the parts, you can see where is it from. This one is definitely bottom part, so quite good. I like to use a lot of to double check on the model at the same time I do it on the UV editor. It's quite useful to see. Do you have a visual reference all the time? I have a huge screen. Well, not huge. It's like 21 inches or 20. Yeah, I think it's 21. And I basically split it in half, like half for UVs, half for visual referencing. And again, you can move around, see how it looks. If you don't have a good screen, get one, because it's very useful. It saves a lot of time as well. I don't know how to. I wouldn't be able to now model on a small screen. Just I don't see how it works at all. To be honest. And as well, I have a second screen in here. You could see, like, I probably already mentioned that in the first tutorial. Just using my second screen for referencing images to see how the bench looks and stuff like that. So it's basically Internet Explorer or Firefox open up the second screen, and the first screen doing every single bit. So yeah, this looked quite good to me, so I just decided to leave it as it is. Nothing else should be done in here. Maybe later on. See, the textures on the sides are gonna be different from the textures on the top, like middle top part and the bottom part, because of that I can leave it as it is. I'm not gonna like do anything special. Now I'm doing the symmetry. I was using the wrong arrow, so I couldn't get it. Like why I couldn't like move it around. Later on I just got it, so just decided to use the front view as well to make it approximately in the middle. Also, you can see I made a symmetry for it, collapsed it and used the unwrapping. Now behind that there is a second UV which is already done for me in this exact the same spot. Sometimes you can just use as it is, sometimes you can drag it out. I'm gonna drag it out, so later on you'll see it in the big. Yeah, it's good to have it like on the side, the preset UV, because I'm gonna attach it all, and so it doesn't mix up. I'm just gonna like move it out of the way. Again, using the isolation tool to get rid of unneeded parts, so they don't get in my way. Again, using the same old, making it white so I can see lines, using same old stitching and moving around. This looked first to me as a good thing, but I thought because of the textures are gonna be like, it's gonna be like a one wooden thing. It's not gonna have different textures. On the sides, it's gonna look like it's breaking, and like the texture is not continuing on. So if you have like a line which goes into a second part and it just breaks out, it's not gonna continue on. So I just decided to stitch them all together. You can see here like there is a little box, square, which breaks it out. Like it looks like it's only half of it. It should be continuing on, like continuing on the second side. So again, I'm just gonna use the stitch tool. Select stitch, Control S. Double check which one is which. Like you can see, I'm selecting the sides and it shows that it's the top part. It's not good for me because if you saw that, it was stitching it like and it was going inside the model, the UV. So I just decided first to do the top part. There's a easier way. If you saw that button, you can like select a line of them. That's something new in Max 12, I would believe. You can see, yeah, I mirrored it because it didn't go exactly as it should be, and it looks now nice. Now I'm just gonna like use the magical button again to make it all squarish and lined up. You have a straighten selection button. It's quite good. Oh my god, it saves so much time. I love it. Thank you, Max. Again, I'm just stitching some leftovers to the main one. Trying to relax it, but it just breaks it a bit. I don't like the way it looks now. Just like it like all straightforward, like nice. And that's it, pretty much. Now I just gotta have to collapse it all, attach them all together, move them around, so it fits on one UV. So doing some final adjustments. Looks pretty much like that one I was using reference of. But maybe a bit different. Didn't want to make it exactly the same because it would be a bit copying and pasting basically. It's easier than to buy it just for the game. Adding some Omni lights, some lights as well. So I can like double check how it looks using Shift F for the like camera preview, so it shows where it's gonna render. F9 to quickly render it, or Shift Q I believe.